Let's be honest, a lot of beginner traders open up a chart and immediately feel overwhelmed. And most people really won't admit this, but they don't actually understand what they're looking at. And if that's you, you're not alone. Today, we're going to be breaking down how you could finally feel confident while reading the market. My name is Chrissy.
And I'm Joy.
And welcome to Married to the Market. So today we really wanted to dive into this because I need you guys to really understand why you're feeling confused as a beginner trader when looking at the market. For me, when I first started, guys, this looked like a foreign language. There was so many people teaching different styles, different things. So when you actually got to the chart, you really didn't understand what you was doing.
A lot of people feel like that when you're looking and you just see red and green, or for some people, they use different colors, but it's all a different language for some people, right? It just takes time, it takes commitment. And once you understand, your world can change.
But a lot of the times, why a lot of beginner traders are so confused is because one, we got way too many indicators on these charts, right? You got the crossings of the EMAs, you got this, you got that, you got color. Like it is so much going on.
Too much noise.
Yeah.
It's too much noise. When you have so much indicators now, I'm not going to lie, I got indicators on mine, right? But it's because of over time, I understand everything. Do I use everything? No, I do not. It's for confirmation. As a beginner, you don't need 10
Yep.
indicators on your charts. With us, through our mentorship, we only give people 3 indicators.
Yeah.
That's all you really need when you're getting started. Sometimes, if you're just doing price action, you really don't use anything. But I always say when you're just using price action, you don't know where a strong point is, where sellers
Hmm.
are, or where buyers are. So now when price bounce, you don't understand why price bounce.
Yeah. So everybody's trying to learn everything at once. You feel like you need to know all of this before you
Yeah.
can even get started. That's like what you were saying with noise and indicators, and there's just too much, right? I think we really need to simplify it as a beginner. I love the fact that our mentees, we give them three, but once they get comfortable, they can take them off, right? I would say leave one of them on, but you can take it off. Sometimes it's just there to guide you, to let you know as a beginner, this is what I'm looking at, because you have to train your eyes in this market. And a lot of people don't have their eyes trained because you're new. But I just think cutting out all of that noise and just keeping it simple throughout this process is really going to help you further your career, especially when you're first starting out.
Yeah, when you have so much on, and when people come into our mentorship, a lot of times they're already looking at charts. Some people never traded before, but for the ones that already looked at charts
Yeah.
and they have indicators, I try to tell them, listen, take everything off.
Start over as a beginner.
Sometimes it's difficult because you're learning from different people,
Yes.
and everybody have different styles.
Yes.
Everybody have different strategies. And it's not that the strategy don't work. You have to be patient and wait for the setup to work.
Yeah.
But a lot of times with the beginners, they want to chase the rush,
Yeah.
right? Chasing the rush can get you in a bad situation. You could lose money because you're not patient.
Mhm.
You're following FOMO. Versus if you wait for your setup, there's a lot that can happen where you could benefit and profit from the market.
And I think just locking into one. So if you like George and I, you like this person, you like that person, pick one person, because having too many different styles is going to confuse you. Nobody trades the same. Even though we might have the same strategy, there's always something else that's
Yep.
different. If you're going to follow someone, be able to be like, you know what? I'm going to lock in with them, or I'm going to lock in with that person and just focus on that, because it's too much noise going on and you feel like you're supposed to like get it right
Yeah.
immediately. Everybody wants instant results, and it's not really that. It takes time to build upon. Just like he said, he may have more than I would have, but it's built upon each other. So it's not like you got all of this information and
One
you're
time.
taking it all, you're digesting it at one time. You're actually layering it on. Maybe this year, you know how this and this works, and next year, this and this. It takes time, right?
Mhm.
But it's just really locking down and stop taking noise from every single body. That is a big, big one.
Yeah. And a lot of times people think that they have to get it done. They have to get it right immediately.
Yeah.
And that's not the case because it takes years for us to understand certain things. Now, because we understand it, we could teach it in a different way and break it down in a different way. But When you're trying to teach yourself by going on YouTube and going on different platforms and find somebody's strategy and be like, okay, I like this. Let me take this and add this. No, you're not going to do that. Just make sure that you understand
Mhm.
what you're doing. You're not going to get everything right away, but just understand the principles. If you understand the principles of the indicator, if you understand the principles of your setup, then you're always going to say, all right, I see this happening. I'm going to wait. And once the trade triggers, then
Yeah.
I'm going to take it.
So, and it's also knowing what part of the chart really matters. Like, okay, yes, these are all needed.
Mhm.
We all want confirmation, right? Three or more is good, you know. But what I'm saying is, which ones really matter the most? Support and resistance and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Like, little things really matter that you got to get down pack first to build upon that.
Support and resistance is key.
Right?
Okay. You want to buy at support, right? And you want
Hmm.
to sell at resistance. That's what most of them say, right? You want to buy at support, sell at resistance. But why is that concept? You have to understand all of that. You have to know where the support are. So in any case, you're looking for a reversal if you want to take it back
Yeah.
up. If you know where the resistance is and you're taking it up, you want to know that you're taking profit when it hit resistance because
Yeah.
guess what? It could come back down. So understanding support and resistance is key when you're talking about trading in
A
general.
lot of people will join signal groups and don't know the chart at all. You need to understand why you're getting in and why you're getting out, right?
Mhm.
Not just following somebody's call out blindly. This is why he said, knowing these key levels, it's great to be part of a call out group. Cool. But you know where you're supposed to enter and
Yeah.
exit. You know where your stop loss is. If you cannot identify that, then you're not ready.
Yeah.
You need training.
I will say this, right? We have our call out groups, but
Yes.
it's one thing that you'll never do or never get into when you're getting in a trade with us. When you're getting in a trade with us, you're always going to understand why you're getting in that trade.
Mhm.
You're always going to understand the levels, where the take profit is, where the stop loss is. A lot of times with signal groups or trading groups, you're just hearing load this
Load the boat.
or get in this,
Yeah.
right? But why are you getting in the trade? Sometimes you're not even seeing a chart. You're just
Hearing
on
it.
a voice and you're hearing, okay, what did they get in? Oh, they got in calls. All right. You don't understand why they're getting in calls.
Mhm.
For you, you have to understand why you're getting in a trade. What's the setup? What's the reason for it to go up or down? Now, if you don't understand that, maybe you need to just sit back a little bit because if somebody's telling you, all right, get into NVIDIA calls, all right, you need
Why?
to be able to pull up the charts. Now, I understand some people they're at work or whatever and they
Yeah.
can't look at charts, but just having a concept of NVIDIA is about to go up, I see the breakout, then
Mhm.
that's fine. But when you're following somebody blindly and then when you're losing and you're constantly losing, you have to ask yourself why you're losing.
We wanted to take a quick break and say thank you guys so much for watching this video. Did you know that 80% of the people that are watching this video are not subscribed? And you might be one of those people just as well. And if you are, do us a favor and click that subscribe button and join us on this journey. Watching this video, that means you might be interested in options trading. I'm not sure if this is for you, but I wanted to let you know that George and I have a 6-week mentorship called Married to the Markets. We'll be teaching you everything about options trading and holding your hand throughout this process. If that sounds like something that you would be interested in, make sure you pause this video and check the description because we're going to be putting all the information that you need and to see if you're qualified for this. So if this is something that you want, we would love to have you guys in the Married to the Market family. So guys, let's go ahead and jump back into the video.
And it could be that you're following somebody that don't know what they're doing. They're not
Mhm.
following their own plan. They're just throwing something out.
Some people think that trading is just a click of a button, right? I'm just going to buy calls, buy puts, and don't realize that honestly, the chart is a conversation between the buyers and the sellers. It's a whole storyline. And until you get that part, you ain't really going to get it, right? You have to understand that we're talking to each other through the charts, right? The market is showing you certain things before it even does. Sometimes the
Yeah.
news will come out and we'd be like, well, we already saw that on the chart.
It's like you stop guessing and now you understand everything.
Yeah.
Because now when you understand what you're looking at, you could see the
Mhm.
setup. You get excited and say, all right, this is easy money. So now it's like today for me was like it was easy money,
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Because you saw the breakout, nice setup as far as a hammer on a chart, and you're gonna take it. But now when you're second guessing yourself because you're looking and you're saying, well, the setup is not there, but
Yeah.
I see prices moving up. Everybody's talking about they making money. The
Yeah.
market is going to go up because of news, Christmas rally or Santa Claus
Yeah.
rally. You get what I'm saying? Now you're following FOMO. Now you're chasing
Mhm.
instead of understanding the charts. So once you understand the charts, things become simpler.
You're no longer guessing.
You're no longer guessing.
You're figuring out, you have a strategy, you know what's going on. A lot of people come on our TikTok and they're like, man, because we do a lot of tutorials and things of that nature,
Mhm.
especially teaching lessons on TikTok. People are like, man, I really got to understand these charts. Like, I really got to understand, like, even the basic anatomy of a chart. If you're missing that foundation, you're missing it all.
You have to understand if you don't understand what the candles do or
Yeah,
what is it doing, then why are you looking at a chart? It doesn't make any sense.
correct.
If you're looking at a chart, the first thing you have to know is what's on the chart. Well, all you're going to see is candlesticks, right?
Mhm.
Now, when you see the candlesticks, the basics that you have to know, the anatomy of a candle, which is the open, the close, the
Close.
high, you have to understand those. And if you can notice those and recognize those, then everything should become, now you're adding
Yep.
on, right? It's like you're learning how to walk. Guess what? You have to crawl,
Crawl,
right?
y'all.
You have to crawl. Some babies, they roll themselves over,
Yeah,
until
my baby did it with one leg. He didn't even crawl.
one of our babies didn't even crawl. They just used one leg. But you have to start small
Yeah,
and step by step. And that is the anatomy of the candle.
yeah.
So when people are looking at it, be like, yo, the candle is bullish. Does that mean buy? It does not mean you're supposed to buy. Not because the candle is
Somebody said
green.
that
It
foolishness.
does not mean that you're supposed to buy. Now, I'm going to bring this up
Yeah,
because this was something that was said inside a comment that I seen. And I said, you have to be careful who's teaching you because they're like, once
yeah,
the candle turns green, then you buy. I'm like, if you're on a 15-minute time frame or any time frame, once that candle turns green, you're gonna buy, but the candle can turn back red at
exactly.
any second. So you have to think about it. It's not only because you see a green candle that means buy, and it doesn't mean that because you see a red candle that means sell. You have to pay attention to the structure. You have to pay attention to your setup. You have to pay attention to what's going on as far as momentum. And then you take your trade based on your strategy.
Exactly. So don't be just listening to anybody out there, guys. For me, price action is everything, right? When you really come down to it and you really back test, your confidence is going to come from you back testing, you understanding. You can expect to learn everything in a day. For me, once I understood price action, once I understood things, I used to back test. I used to see what does Apple do when earnings come out? What does Apple do when news come? You really have to think about all the different scenarios and look at the chart as a whole. I always say pick 3 to 5 stocks, right? Your best 3 to 5s, something with some momentum, okay? And then back test that, marry that stock,
Mm.
right? Become one with that stock so you know how that stock moves. You know the ATR of that stock on a day-to-day basis. You know when something happens, it does this, or you have some kind of confirmation. I feel like when you marry a stock, then it's a little bit easier for you because you don't have to be jumping from here to here. You could pick one and you could just become one. Some people just trade SPY or they just trade
Yeah.
QQQ or they just trade Apple because they marry that stock. They know what that's going to do.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what you need to do in the beginning. Stop looking at 100 different stocks. Pick 1 to 2 then, right?
And
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 then just flow with that.
and the thing is you have to pick something that has volume, has volatility.
You can
So get in and
get,
out. So there's a lot that you have to think about, but I'm gonna simplify it even more.
yeah,
There's tons of stock that you could choose from that has volatility, that has the volume. But what now that you have to think about is pick one strategy
yes,
and just work with that one strategy.
absolutely.
For us, there's 3 setups that I love. And I teach that inside our
Yes.
mentorship. There's one that I drool over. When I see that setup, it's like, yo, it's like guaranteed money type of thing. Like I'm like excited
Yeah.
about that trade the next day, which I think I see a stock that's gonna be have that setup tomorrow. I'm
Mhm.
excited about that, right? When you understand your strategy,
Yes.
now you're not second guessing anything. You're simplifying everything. So now when you're trading, if the trade goes against you and your strategy have to work most of the time, the strategy can't work 40% of the time. your strategy have to work most of the time. What
Yeah.
does that mean? You have to back test. You have to go back and see when this setup happens, what normally plays out.
Yes.
Is it 70% of the times you're right? 80% of the times, 90% of the times? How many times is it right?
Mm-hmm.
And based on that, you can leverage yourself to where you know that, all right, I'm always going to risk this amount. And it could be a 2-to-1 situation where you know that when you risk, you're going to make the money no matter what. So even if you get 5 out of the 10, right, you still become break even or
Yeah.
profitable at some point. So there's times when you have to look and say, listen, the strategy that I'm trading, is it profitable? And sometimes when you're seeing other people talk about their strategy, the best 1 minute strategy, the best scalping strategy, the best swing strategy, you have to say, listen, you know what? Before I go trade this with real money, let me go ahead and back test what they're saying and see, all right, did this work? Because anybody can pull up a chart when the play already gone.
Correct.
Everybody can pull up it and say, hey, this is what you do. This is the structure. This is support. You see support forming here and look what happened. Everybody can do that once it already happened and they look like a genius. They look like they know what they're doing. But let them do it
Yeah.
when the market is live.
Yeah.
Let them trade. Go ahead and trade with them and let them use that same strategy while they're trading live
Yeah.
and see what happens. And that's why I could say I don't have to worry about that because I put basically, how would I put
Go
that?
ahead, try figure it out.
I don't want to say like I can back up when I trade. What
People
I'm
trade
saying,
live with us, so they
I
know
can
that.
back up when I trade,
Yeah.
meaning that when I trade today, we traded AMD for 30%. We traded IWM for over 50%. Now, could we have stayed in
Oh,
longer?
a lot longer.
Yes, we could have stayed in
But
longer.
profit is profit.
Profit is profit. AMD right now is up 100% when I last look at it. And IWM is up 200%
Yeah.
when I last looked at it. But what you have to realize is, do you want to stay in a drawdown if you're trading zero DTE contracts? You want to do that knowing that we have Thursday, that's going to be
A holiday.
holiday, and then Friday is half a day. So those contracts is going to be different coming Tuesday, coming Wednesday. Those contracts will be different. So you have to understand that and take profit. A lot of times people don't take profit when they're
Yeah.
supposed to. That profit goes back into the red.
Yeah.
I'm not in that.
I ain't letting the trade turn red if I don't need to. If I got time on it because I'm looking for a bigger move, then okay. But on a regular day to day, no, I'm taking my profit, guys. But really, it comes down to clarity. Clarity changes everything. It changes the confusion when you have a plan, when you have a strategy, when you back test, and when you journal, guys. When you journal, that is everything. So that's why George and I, after every trade, we journal, we document it. You can't keep getting into the market and you don't know what's really working. It's like throwing spaghetti at the wall. Not only the bad things that you're journaling, but you're also journaling the good. So you say, we got like 3 strong strategies that I would say. And which one of those did it work today? What did we see on the chart? We wrote it down. We wrote the note. We are traders just as well. So we're telling you from experience, if you really want to unlock that, you got to journal. You have to journal. It's Black Friday week. We do have our journals currently on sale for Black Friday, 50% off. For those of you that are watching this video for the next couple of days to the end of the week only, just you guys know we don't ever put our journals on sale, but you guys have been asking, so we went ahead. We'll leave that in the description. It's a 100-day journal. I'm not sure if it's for you, but if it is for you, I highly suggest you go and grab that while you can.
I'll say this, it's for any trader because at the end of the day, any person that's trading, they need to be journal.
Yeah.
If you're not getting our journal, find something so that you're recording what you're doing because it's very important that you know what you're doing, what's working and what's not working.
Yeah.
So
So if you guys want support when it comes to learning the charts in a practical way, come and join us. We invite you to come into Married on the Market. We have a 6-week mentorship. We do 6 months. We do one-on-ones for the year. We even have live call outs. So there's something for everyone. You just have to figure out where you are on your journey. And if that's the case, then click a link in the description, book a call, see if you qualify. Remember this, guys, in order for you to level up, you got to do something different than you've never done before.
yeah,
If you want your circumstance to change in 2026, what are you doing now? You don't wait till 2026 to make those changes. You start now, the day-to-day things that you're doing today to better yourself. Some of you may be watching this for the first time and now it's piquing your interest. Let me figure out what options trading is. Step out, try something. This might be that sign for you. If your current circumstances isn't where you want it to be,
Mhm.
what are you going to do about it?
You gotta change.
You got to try something
Y
else.
yeah.
If you stay in the mentality of, oh, you know what? I'm afraid, I'm scared. Stop telling people your dreams, first and foremost. Do what you need to do for yourself now so everything can be prepared for where you're trying to go in the future. That was just a little motivation because there's so many people I see and I interact with, they just don't have the mindset to believe in themselves. You got to believe in yourself first for all of this to unlock. And when you see other people like George and I, other married people or just people in general
Mhm.
doing it, why can't you?
Why can't you?
That's really what it comes down to. Well, guys, I just wanted us to come on this morning and just drop this podcast for you guys. I just hope that it's impactful to someone today. Share this video. Let us know your takeaway from this. We're going to see you guys on the next podcast.
Alright.
Bye.